5 common social figures. When we're dancing Argentine tango, I know that there's all this vocabulary that you can engage in. Lots of it is really cool and lots of fun, and it adds lots of spice to the dance. But the simple fact is that you're going to engage 5 simple things over and over and over and over again. It becomes the meat of the dance, as it were. And those 5 things become the staple of your dance. The more that you execute them cleanly and clearly, the easier it is to get to all the other stuff that you might want to engage. Now, to be fair, there's nothing wrong with the occasional staccato. There's nothing wrong with the occasional volcata. I can't believe I said that. There's nothing wrong with the occasional gancho or boleo. Notice the word there, the word there. It's not the vocabulary, but the occasional, meaning that it adds spice, meaning that it adds a little bit of variety. There's nothing wrong with adding those things in now and again. However, it's the now and again part, meaning that the bulk of your dance is really going to be these 5 things. What are those 5 things? Item number 1 on this list. Now, to be fair, so that we're all clear on this, usually when we're talking about the 5 common things in social tango, we're talking about this from close embrace. You are not going to see any open embrace vocabulary, so get that little thought right out of your head. This is all close embrace vocabulary, which means everything is tight and close and yummy. We like the yummy part. I know you never hear me say that. But in fact, there is a component here that we do actually have to talk about, which is the embrace part. And even though it is not part of these 5 common things, the embrace component is, in fact, insanely important. Now, the yummy part here is not squeezing the living daylights out of your partner, but in fact, allowing them space and time to transition across each other's bodies. That does not mean holding on to your partner, and I know you think you don't do this. After 14 years in dancing with everybody under the sun, I can virtually guarantee that you are quite literally squeezing the living daylights out of your partners, and it is not a desirable thing for a whole bunch of reasons. All right, having said that, item number 1 on this list. And I did it wrong. Did you see me do it? I grabbed the follower's hand. Here, grab that. Yes. Not desirable. Instead, I raise her arm. Much better. So this is walking. Really simple, but gets over, or I should say, underused a whole lot. Yes? Is that we don't necessarily pay attention to the fact that the dance is all about walking. Yes? We do want to engage a nice, clean, pleasant walk. Really simple. And you would think that it shouldn't be on the list, but in fact, it is on the list because the dance is all about walking. Make that walk nice and clean and lovely, and look what happens. A clean and lovely experience. Attached to this idea of walking is this idea, is known as, and this is, you will find this, and I did it again. You'll notice, and this particular piece of vocabulary is called walking turns. There's a whole video on this series, and there's a whole lot of options that are sitting here. But the walking turn itself doesn't get used a whole lot, and there's a good reason for that, because the walking turn itself tends to want to end up walking backwards in the line of dance for 1 step. However, there's a way that we can mitigate that, which unfortunately is not touched on in the video, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So we want to go walk, 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 and we're continuing to walk, and here comes the fun part. Now I want to walk into that turn. Yes? Just like that. One more time. Here we go. Did you see it? This is a walking turn. Now, to be fair, my follower at this particular point is like, okay, I know that we need to turn here, so I'm just going to start pulling to the left or pulling to the right. I'm going to start that turn. Now, if she was paying attention, what should have happened is that there should have been a slight hesitation. And that, believe it or not, that slight hesitation is actually good. It's not bad. It's because what would normally happen on a social dance floor. So she's quite literally, okay, I need to go there. But that's not what we're looking for. We want that tiny, we're talking about a little bit of hesitation there. Very small. But, you know, we do want to be Jane on the spot. Not Johnny, but Jane on the spot. All right. Otra vez, one more time. And now we're going to get to as we're doing this, now we're going to get to the cute little trick that isn't in the video, but is in this one. So we're going to do this walk, walk, walk. Yes. And now I'm starting my turn. Yes. And we're going to do this cute little trick that makes the walking turn that much easier. Here we go. So as I start that turn, instead of me stepping directly into the follower's line, I want to step slightly behind their foot. I want to step slightly behind their foot. What I'm doing is I'm closing the distance. And it makes the turn that much tighter. That's it. It's a really cool trick, but it really works. So the more that I step into the follower's space and it closes the distance between our feet, the tighter the turn becomes. And then I can do some really cool things. As a direct result of this, what may end up happening is the follower may hear this as an inborn staccato, which means that leg is going to swing out just a little bit. And we don't necessarily want that, so followers, you need to be aware of that. All right, so this is item number 1 on the list, is walking and walking turns. I should also add that there's a whole bunch of items that are sitting here. When we're talking about walking, what you saw me doing is walking in parallel system. I could have walked on 3 tracks. I could have engaged walking on 4 tracks. I could have engaged any one of the 6 ways of walking. Now, to be fair, most people will engage in the 1 or 2, the walking in parallel system or cross system. Thank you very much to Gustavo Navarra for his the systemization of these ideas. However, there are at least 16 other ways I could engage that walk. At least 16. Actually, truth be told, it's 18, but we're not going to get to them. So for that, please go look at the 6 ways of walking video. All right, having said that, let's move on. Item number 2 on this list, ochos. Ochos? Yeah, ochos. Really simple. It's a very social construct. Again, in close embrace. It's this idea. Traveling ocho. And notice that I'm going with my follower. Yes, this is a traveling ocho. Now, to be fair, I don't want to do more than 3 of them in a row because it's a lot of work for the follower to do that. Or its corollary, which is a milonguero ocho. And this is where the follower's hips don't translate at all. Yes, this is a milonguero ocho. From a walk, yes. Now these I can do ad nauseum, and the follower's like, oh, I can do this. Or traveling ochos. And that's a lot of work for the follower to do. Yes? Make sense? All right. Item number 3 on this list is something that I have spent probably an inordinate amount of time talking about, specifically today because we've been shooting a whole bunch of video.